Mike checkity check. Mike checkity check. Check check. What's up?
I just wanted to hop on the mic and say, I know the world been a little chaotic and everything. I just wanted to check and make sure everything good in the hood, like sure, you know what I mean? Say hi to the fam. Okay, let's get to work. What up?
What's going on, party people? It's your boy, JusJrdn here with another A Moment for Jay. Man, it's October. We out here. This episode, man. I didn't really have anything prepped for it. There was just a lot going on over the weekend and stuff, and I didn't have a whole lot of time to prep for this. But Breathwork and Weed Smoke is officially out. Olympus 2 is officially out. Very exciting now. We're just working on promo content. A lyric video is going to drop for Breathwork and Weed Smoke this week. Cool little video that I made. Still working on some other projects that I can't talk about right now at this second, but they're coming through and it's getting exciting. Man, I've been listening to so much EDM music. It's no surprise I'm working on an EDM album called Mr. J and the Heartbroken Homies. And it's just such an exciting genre of music. They're doing such cool things with sound design and the range of what that genre of music is. It really can incorporate all genres of music: country, jazz, rap, trap. It's just such a diverse genre of music. I understand why there's a million categories. There's a lot going on in that genre, and there's people like Fred again that are just these geniuses that just make such good music, and it's a cool project. I'm excited. There's going to be a lot of really cool stuff we do for promotion and stuff when that comes out. Can't tell y'all. If you watch the JusJrdn stuff, there's hints. There's lots of hints. I throw out lots of hints through my Instagram. It could just look like a regular post, but it's little hints, and it will all eventually make sense eventually, but just little things here and there to show y'all what the Mr. J is going to be. But Breathwork and Weed Smoke was super hype. A lot of people really like that track. I also got asked the question the other day how long it takes me to make a song, and it really depends, man. That Breathwork and Weed Smoke song I made right away. I made it in like an afternoon, really, and it just came together. Some dope samples. I didn't really overthink the lyrics too much. Super simple flow, some cool stacking of vocals with the inhale, exhale. Go check it out. Go check out the lyric video, share, comment, like, and subscribe. Please make sure you're subscribed and everything. I've been told to start saying that more in my videos and stuff, so I have been, and it seems to be working actually. So I'll keep doing it at least once. So right now we just working on trying to sell vinyls and records. What am I doing? Vinyls and records, and then booking some gigs. We're gonna try to get back on the stage here. I got some cool tracks that I want to share with people, from Olympus. And if you've heard Olympus 2, there's some sick tracks like number 2, Greatest, spelled with an 8. That's shout out Andrew Menzak for that one. He also produced Dark Skies, which is already out everywhere too. Some really dope tracks that I think will be really fun live. A lot of people have really liked that Dark Sky song. It's a deep track. It's hard to forgive these days, hard to just live these days. So I drink to forget these days. I'm filled with regret most days. So I smoke till the sky turn dark. I pray we all heal from these broken hearts. Smoke till the sky turn dark. We all promised death from the start. I've been on a losing streak, gaining friends and losing me. losing. That part's hard. I can't remember all of it. I can't remember all of it right now, but that part live would be hard because there's a lot of gaining, losing, and the rhymes are so close. Sometimes we do some artsy things, and then there's some songs like Dreamscape, which is just one line. I love that song though. Really cool project. I really like that project. More is coming through, which we've from the people that have heard it so far really have enjoyed it, and so that's always nice to hear. Always super encouraging, super nice to hear. People really like that Breathwork and Weed Smoke song right now too. It's a banger. Breathwork and Weed Smoke, the only things that keep me calm. The ladies love Jay because of my peaceful charm. Used to want gold grills, that shit won't keep me warm. I like the like old school flows. The dun 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 dun. You know, it just reminds me of such old school. I just loved it. Um, uh, because I feel like you can deliver simpler lines and they make a bigger impact. Like even the uh I'm getting these songs confused in my head right now. I'm trying to say I just said it. Breath work and weed smoke, the only things that keep me calm. The ladies love Jay because of my peaceful charm. Used to want gold grills, that shit won't keep me warm, warm, warm. Yeah. Anyways, please go check it out. Super fun. Lots more music coming soon. Another thing I wanted to do, just kind of for myself. I don't do it all the time anymore, but every once in a while, I'll be reading from the book, The Daily Stoic, one of my favorite books of all time. 366 meditations on wisdom, perseverance, and the art of living. We're gonna read two of these today. So we're gonna read the day that I recorded this, which is October 7th, and I'm gonna read it for October 9th as well. So for the month of October, the main focal point is virtue and kindness. And October 7th says, a selfish reason to be good. The person who does wrong to themselves. The unjust person is unjust to themselves, making themselves evil. Marcus Aurelius Meditations 9.4. The next time you do something wrong, try to remember how you feel. Rarely does one say, I feel great. This is a great reason. This is a reason there's often vomit at crime scenes. Instead of the catharsis, instead of the catharsis the person thought they'd feel when they let themselves get out of control or when they got the revenge, they ended up making themselves sick. We feel a version of this when we lie, when we cheat, and when we screw someone over. So in the split second before your ill-gotten gains kick in, ask, how do I feel about myself? Is that moment when fear rises in your throat because you suspect you may get caught really worth it? Self-awareness and wrongdoing rarely go together. If you need a selfish reason to not do wrong, put yourself in touch with these feelings. They're powerful. They're a powerful decentive. They are. I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling so much. You know, that feeling of when you do something wrong, when you've said something to hurt someone on purpose. Because it's one thing if you say something and it was a mistake or it was misinterpreted, but when you've purposely said this, you know, because it's really about what the intention is in your heart. If you're saying something nice but you mean it as an insult, that's evil. If you said something nice and it was taken as an insult, that's out of your control. And so, you know, I try my best to not have those thoughts and to share those thoughts and to have those conversations when you're talking down on other people because it doesn't matter. You know, so much of those conversations and the wrongdoings towards others, you know, everyone's made mistakes and I've done things in my life that I regret and I hate. But one thing I do my best now on is letting it go. I That doesn't have to be me. I don't have to be the same person I was even 5 minutes ago. Talk about 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. It's just, you have to understand that in some people's, stories of their own life, you're going to be the asshole, no matter how nice of a person you are. It's just what it is, man. It's just what it is. We can't be 100% our best selves 100% of the time. And even sometimes the 100% of our best selves isn't the best version that it can be, but that's just what it is. Anyways, let's get to this other one now, too. October 9th. Set the standards and use them. Ooh, I like this, where this is going. So this is for today, if you're listening on the day this podcast comes out. Set the standards and use them. When the standards have been set, things are tested and weighed. And the work of philosophy is just this, to examine and uphold the standards. But the work of a truly good person is in using these standards when they know them. Epictetus, Discourses 2.11, 23 to 25. We go through our days responding and reacting, but it's rare to really pause and ask, is this thing I'm about to do consistent with what I believe? Or better, is the kind of thing the person I would like to be should do? Is this the kind of thing the person I would like to be should do? Is this the kind of thing the person I would like to be should do? Yeah. Sorry. The work of living is to set standards and then not compromise them. When you're brushing your teeth, choosing your friends, losing your temper, falling in love, instructing your children, or walking your dog, all of these are opportunities. Not, I want to do good. That's an excuse, but I will do good in this particular instance. Right now, set a standard, hold fast to it. That's all there is. This reminds me of Kobe Bryant, RIP. He's talking about setting contracts with yourself and doing those things. And being like, this is a contract I have with myself. I will not compromise. And, this morning, I'll tell you a real time where I just failed myself. The night before I go to bed, I have a list of things that I want to accomplish and do the next day. I always have a list, and this list is never ending. And there's always another project or something I'm working on, or a meeting, or a phone call, or a text, it's always something, And this morning I was like, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna run 10K. I've been doing good cardio and stuff, riding a stationary bike, doing HIIT workout, boxing workouts. I just wanted something out of my comfort zone, going run. I don't typically like going for jogs and stuff outside, especially when it gets colder. In the summer, and I know this is an excuse, but I have allergies and asthma. And sometimes when I go for runs outside, I tend to have asthma attacks while I'm running. And so then I can never get a good I can do sprints outside and other workouts outside, but when I'm doing long distance stuff outside, it really causes me to have asthma attacks and stuff, even if I'm going way less intense than doing other forms of cardio. So to me, even over the summer, I think I tried 2 or 3 times, and each time I had an asthma attack, and I'm like, well, now I'm not even doing the amount of work I need to do. Anyways, I know it's kind of an excuse, but it's also like a medical thing, Anyways, sometimes my allergies and my asthma get bad, and I often try to not use it as an excuse, but sometimes it kicks my ass. Sometimes. But this morning I wanted to get up and try to run a 10K, and I woke up. It was 5:30, and for 10-15 minutes I went back and forth of, Jay, stop being a little bitch, get up and run, get up and run, get up and run, get up and run. But my bed felt super comfy, and every excuse in the book. I'm stressed out, blah blah blah, I didn't sleep very well, blah 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 blah. I ended up deciding that I'll just go to sleep and do some other form of cardio. And this has motivated me. See, and this is why it's important to read and consume things that inspire you, because even though I did later on, just a couple hours ago, I hopped on the stationary bike and got a hell of a good workout because I was feeling like a piece of shit for skipping that. So I still got it in, which is important, but I didn't stick to the plan that I set for myself. And yeah, I made adjustments, and some days it's good to make adjustments, but you know, after listening to that, I was like, I would have given myself, yeah, so maybe I burnt the exact same amount of calories, which is great towards that one goal. But I allowed myself to slack. I allowed myself to not follow what I committed to the night before. And the more times you fill the bucket of, I'll make up for this later, instead of just, let me fucking do this right now, you'll start to add more and your brain will start to shift more. And this is why it's important to like never give up, to never quit, to because it really rewires your brain. The way you think and the choices you make, it all impacts your brain, and your body keeps the score, as they say. There's a whole book on it. And good, bad, every decision you make is like that. And so when you want that championship mentality, that, or if you're stuck in a rut, it's like you got to make these promises to yourself and you got to keep them. And there's all this stuff about growth and working harder, and yes, those are important, but what's most important is when you make a commitment to yourself, you need to keep that commitment. And I know I'm speaking to you, but I'm really speaking to myself right now. I'm having a moment of reflection, and it's like I'm feeling super motivated to get my ass up at 5:30 tomorrow morning and go for a 10K run. And I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm glad, you know. Even I'll be weird with y'all. I didn't want to do this podcast. I had every excuse in the world to not do it. But I was like, nah, you know what? No more skipping these podcasts. No more. It doesn't matter if 2 people are watching or 2 million people are watching. I set out to do these podcasts and I hope people are enjoying them. And I like to have these conversations and I like to create this content. And yeah, I would love to make a revenue stream from it. But right now, that's not the case. I do this because it's just, it's a good way to promote my music and my channel. And it's another form of content. But it's something I also enjoy. And, I hope to get more into like voice stuff. And, it's almost, some days this is a therapeutic thing too. It's like I can just get out here and just talk. And, so many of my friends and stuff had told me that I need to just get in front of a mic and just talk once a week, because it's a skill set I have. And I'm going to leave that off. I'm going to leave that off today because I don't got the energy for it. But I told myself I'm going to do this podcast. I'm not going to miss. And so that's what I'm doing, and just like the vlogs that I make every day, I've made them for coming up on a year. It's going to be a year next week. And some of those videos suck. Some of them are great. And some of them got very little views, and some of them have thousands of views. So it just goes to show, just keep making, keep creating, and keep commitments to yourself. Get out there and do your best, and do your best in those things that you choose to do. Because, like that passage was saying, I could be sitting on the couch taking a nap right now, but instead I set up everything and sat in front of the camera and decided, hey, no, the person I want to be shows up for the podcast and records it. Yeah, eventually I would like to have a little team to do this, but right now it's just me and my phone, me and these lights that sometimes work, me and who's ever listening. So thank you for listening. And sometimes it's nice to not be prepared too, and just to flow with things. And and that's cool. Yeah, those passages were sick to listen to too, Wow. I think that conversation was even just worth it for me to have with myself in this moment. So I'm grateful that I sat down and I followed through with my commitment to myself. Um, because now I'm feeling motivated to do things. And see, this is what I mean. And then your body's like, yeah, bro, you did. Unlike even in the the other one where it's like, okay, yeah, when you do bad, you feel bad. Yeah, when you do good, you feel good, and it's nice when you can. I I think I heard Matthew McConaughey talk about this. He's not the first person I heard talk about lists, but he was talking about how he writes down everything, everything he wants to do the next day. Why? Whether it's like kiss his wife or whatever it is, because the more things he can check off, keep checking off, the better he feels, and it's that addicting. And if you've ever been in the garage, the studio, you know that I got whiteboards, and on those whiteboards I got my big things that I'm working on the big whiteboard, and then I got my month, and then I got my week, and then I got my everyday, and then on top of that I got my long-term goals in documents on there, and then I got other things that are written down on pieces of paper that I need to be focused on every single day when I sit down. And I'm very goal orientated. That's why I was a good personal trainer. Still am a personal trainer, but that's why it's because I'm goal orientated, and it's okay to not hit goals, but it's not okay to not do the work. Yeah, because you're gonna fail. I fail all the time. I'd like to fail less, and I hope to get to the point where I fail less. But this is another great conversation to have, because they were talking about, like, I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, but the percentage of hits. You know, there's a if you are familiar with the 80-20 rule, which is 80% of the results, or 80% of the revenue, or 80% of the audience, or blah 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 blah, is 20%. So meaning that, um, say you have 10 merch items. Two of them probably make 80% of the money you make from merch, and the other eight make probably about 20% of the merch sales. Same thing with songs. Most albums have one or two massive hits, and most people don't even know the other songs from the artist. And that's everybody. That's all people all the time, and that's why eventually every artist that you know in their career, they come up with the greatest hits, and they take the 10 songs, the 12 songs, they take the 20%. They probably have 100. They probably have yeah, they probably have, well, most artists have somewhere between 5 and 10 albums. Some have way more. So a lot of rock bands seem to get up there into like the 15s and 20s sometimes, but I think about 10 albums in a career is pretty solid. That's a pretty good catalog if they have, that's 120 songs. um you've probably written thousands of songs, and you've probably put out 100 to 150 songs, except if you're Lil Wayne in one year was on 200 tracks, which is a whole other. But again, even Lil Wayne, I bet you, again, same thing. About 20% of his songs make 80% of his income. Where was I going with this now? Songwriting, 80-20. Oh, yeah. Failing. Or there's this, he's kind of like the business guy right now. It always kind of changes. Right now, the big one is Alex Hermosi and his wife. And, Alex, in one of his books, talks about uh, hitting a home run. While when you're a baseball player, you need to hit home runs all day. But when you're a business owner, you only ever need to hit one home run. You only need one thing. As an artist, I really need one hit song. If I can hit the lottery, boom, great. I can live off of one song for forever. Um, very hard to do. Obviously, lots of competition and lots of people making songs. But with any kind of thing, you need one product, you need one service, you need one anything that takes off, and you're good, and then you can hit home runs technically for infinite because one product works. However, getting there, you fail a lot, and so I've made some money off music, and it's the life, the cliche, struggling artist, but it always trying new things, always experimenting, always doing, because you never know what's going to work. And if you stop trying, then that's when you fail in my eyes. That's when you really fail. So it's just like showing up to bat, because there's another quote that's awesome. Booze don't block dunks. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody else has to say about you or what you're doing. If you can dunk that ball, it doesn't matter if they're in the stands. They're in the stands. They can't stop you, And there's another one too. It doesn't matter how many times you strike out, they'll clap for you once you hit a home run. It doesn't matter how many times. If you shut up every day and you struck out for 300 days, 400 days, 500 days, if you hit one home run, that stadium's going to go, good job, man. So just keep going. Even, what's been nice is the YouTube has picked up. Even the Spotify and stuff has picked up. We need to start generating more sales from things. That's always the thing to figure out. How do I generate more album sales? Because I don't need to be even selling anything crazy. If I could sell 1,000 albums before the end of the year, 100 albums before the end of the year, 200, 300, 400 albums, we'll be in a good spot. So, the numbers I'm shooting for aren't in the millies. That would be great, but they're realistic. Hundreds, dozen. If I can sell a dozen albums a week, great. We're eating. We're paying the bills. So, we're out here working, out here grinding. So I hope you're focused on your goals and whatever you're doing, and that you don't give up on yourself, because that's what's most important. Do the things for you, find the motivation, dig deep, and the commitments you make with yourself are the most important commitments you ever make. Never break them. Always do your best to succeed. Keep your word to yourself, man. Damn, all right. I'm not going to go on all day with this podcast. I think we'll kind of wrap it up there. I didn't want to go on. I just wanted to sit down and just kind of get off my chest whatever was going to flow, and this is what flowed. So I'm glad I sat down to have this conversation with y'all, and thank you so much for listening. I wish you nothing but more love, more success. Please, if you can, go pick up the vinyl. That's the best thing you can do to support me and my channel right now, or like, share, comment. You can do that too, but make sure you pre-order Olympus right now on vinyl. Go pick up Olympus 2. It's only $10 on my website as well. And if you really a big baller shot caller and you want to invest in Jay, you get 1% of my profits for forever of JusJrdn. It's a $10,000 commitment. You get the only digital copy. Well, there's 5 of them. There's 5 digital copies available of Olympus, and you get one if you for 10 grand. But obviously, you get much more than just the album. But the album is worth it. All right, keep dreaming big. Keep working every day. Go stream the shit out of my music. Eat healthy. Move your body. Be patient with yourself, but keep grinding towards your goals. More love, more success. This has been A Moment with Jay.
Okay, let's get it, y'all.